Hello everyone, it's Glitch now, and today we are going to be doing a tutorial on this tree that you see behind me. It is a bit of a bigger one, as you can see. Yeah, it's gonna be it's not just a tree, it's a tree base, so I didn't actually do the interior on this one, but as you can see, we have lots of space here, and yeah, you can put all your different stuff in here. This is gonna take a while, so we should get right into it. The materials that you're going to need include the oak wood and the leaves. These are, of course, just the regular oak leaves. I am using a resource pack that makes them slightly more bushy, just because it makes the tree look a lot better, But yeah, not just the oak log, which we have right here. We're actually wanting to make the oak wood, which you can make by just combining it into a crafting table like this. And yeah, it is a bit more expensive, but I personally think it gives the tree a way better look. And for the leaves, if you're a bit farther in the game, you're gonna want to use a hoe with the Silk Touch enchantment. But if you're not, shears work just fine. So once you've found a place to build your tree, in my case it's just a flat world, we're gonna start by kind of bringing the logs up like this, and just like a one wide little thing right here. And this is where you can establish the height of the roots of your tree. And yeah, this is not permanent. You're going to make them a lot longer further on, but you're just going to want to try to find out how you want your roots to curve, and just like the general trajectory of them. So I'm kind of going for maybe some of that, as well as maybe one more up there. See, that's a pretty decent height for the roots in this tree. Just a simple shape going up. I'm gonna come over here, just kind of establish another point for our root. See, maybe we want it to kind of be like perfectly or not perfectly diagonal, but decently diagonal, so look at roots that are like just ridiculously larger than other ones. So yeah, maybe we'll bring this one up a little bit. I think maybe we can bring it like that, and then yeah, maybe one more like that, and then try to keep them fairly same Y level. Pretty similar kind of looks, but it's gonna kind of change them every single time. On the diagonal ones, we're gonna want to make sure we're kind of picking a spot in between two different sideways roots. So what you can do is just come up here, kind of bring it up like that, and then I actually want to move this one over one block. And this process is just, a lot of testing, seeing what works, where you want to place the roots, how they're gonna fit together, all these different little steps that make the tree look a whole lot better. So you just wanna continue this all the way around. And once you're done, you should have a kind of clear looking shape like this that kind of just outlines the general roots of the tree. And yeah, this is gonna take a lot of testing, and I would recommend that you don't, do this on any of the wood, simply because this wastes wood, and this is a little bit more expensive, so you don't want to waste it. I would recommend just putting in scaffolding blocks if you're in survival mode. Okay, so the next step is you're going to want to kind of just trace the outline of where your roots are kind of going to go. And this is just a general outline, so that you don't, make any really weird looking roots. So that's what I'm just going to do, just kind of look at it, and this helps you make sure you have the nice shape of the actual roots, so that when you go to build the tree, it doesn't look like you're building a square, you're building an actual tree, So yeah, just gotta keep going around all the way, random shapes, but make sure that you're outlining the tree, because the roots would come in, and then they meet this root, right? And so they come back out. And this kind of just helps you have a plan, because you always want to have a plan when you're building. If you don't, you're gonna get these builds that look just really hodgepodge, and they're just not planned out well. So yeah, this is a really important step to build. You of course don't have to do it out of wood. I am, because I'm just using creative wood, but you can always do this out of dirt or something. Once you're done, you should have this weird starfish shape. And yeah, this is the point where it's gonna take a lot of logs to finish this, but it is gonna be worth it. And yeah, I'm just gonna come over here and just come over here and connect the dots up. It's not that hard. You just gotta keep going around like this, and yeah, just come up here maybe. Just get these general roots, make sure the shape looks kind of good to you, and then you can connect it up like this. It's really simple actually. It just looks this is how you get that really organic shape, you know? Let's say right there. And just like that, you have finished part of your root. You might notice that this one, it's like really stiff, you know? It's like really straight, and then it goes like that. It's like barely any curve, and you don't want that. So what you can do is come out here and just, you know, break out some of the logs. And let's say maybe come down here. That one might not fit, so you put that there, break that there, maybe put that one there, you know? And then just fill it in like this. Really simple. And you can, of course, go into the back of the tree, grab your logs back to make sure you're not wasting any. But yeah, this, it just makes the root look like it comes out a lot more. Makes it look like it's more supported. That's what you're going for on all the different roots. That's what you're just gonna do. It's really rinse and repeat. Try not to keep like this all the same shapes. You wanna kind of change it up here and there, because if you have everything the same, it's not gonna look good. It's gonna look really uniform, and we are building organics, right? So we don't want it to look the same. We want it to look quite different, actually. So it's pretty simple. Change it up. Don't just look at one root. Like, let's say, oh, I put 2 blocks here, so I'm gonna go ahead and put 2 blocks there. No, and it's also gonna make it a lot easier on you if you're just mixing it up, you know? So I'm just gonna get these done real quick, and then we can move on to the next step of the build. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if you have these like kind of areas where it doesn't feel like it's connecting well, and it feels just like really like tall and like straight, like this part right here, all you have to do is put in a couple logs like this, maybe, and it, you know, just makes it look a lot more, you know, rounded out, which is really nice. After you finishing all your roots, you know, finishing, yeah, you're gonna have this kind of shape, you know, all of your roots are gonna be complete. You can have a tree stump, you know. It might look a little bit weird, but we'll fix that in a little bit. And all your roots should be tapered off to one point, you know, try to keep it at the same Y level. We're gonna be changing it up in a second, but yeah, just to start with this, it's kind of like starting with another fresh tree on top, and that really just helps you, you know, get the idea of how big you want your actual trunk to be. So yeah, now it's pretty simple. You're just gonna take it up. You know, I'm gonna take mine up by 3 blocks on everything, and basically this just helps us establish how big we want our trunk to be. Because, you know, if we don't figure out how big we want it to be at first, you're gonna get these really weird things. Like, you're gonna have a huge trunk and then like a super short roots, or like whatever. You know, you don't want this thing to go all the way up to build height. So what you can do, just go back, look at it for a second, see where you want to make the changes, and then come back and add more to it. So see, like right here, I'm not really liking how much this part is leaning to that side, so I'm just breaking that part out, placing that right there. That looks a little bit better. And you see, this is definitely not tall enough, right? So maybe we'll take it up by another 3, and then we can step back again. And that's still not tall enough, but as we do, this is really looking quite flat, and we don't like that. So what I like to do is just take these ones up at the top, kind of just pull them up a little bit, not all the same, you know, like this, and kind of just make the trunk continue its way upwards. Every once in a while, you know, just bring these different blocks up, you know, here, there. What this does is really, you know, makes it look like the roots are more connected, because otherwise you just get this kind of feeling that like the roots just stop, and you don't want that to happen. So basically what you can do is just add all of these things just coming upwards like this. Pretty simple little detail, makes your trunk look a whole lot better. See, it already looks a lot more connected. Right here, not liking that. I want to speed that up a little bit. I'm actually gonna put that there, bring that up, like that, and then break that maybe. Yeah, that works. And then we can just keep going upwards, but we do want to start making the trunk go in a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do is go up by 2, and then kind of make these different shapes at the top, you know? So you can just kind of come over here, you know, just alternate it every once in a while like that. Different Y levels, different heights, and then what you get is this really like jagged looking area. And then what you can do with that is pretty simple. You just take it, and then you can bring these ones up from the corners. See, that makes it look like it's coming in more, but also makes it look way more natural than it would normally. So, you know, that's kind of what you're going for. Just that simple, like, look, you know, of it coming inwards. The trees becoming smaller at the top. You don't have to do this on every single one, you can keep it on some, but I like to just do this on most of them, you know, because this is going to help it just look more natural. You don't want some parts to be like really thin and then the other parts to be really thick. So yeah, once you're done with that, you should get something that looks a little bit more like that. Let's come a little bit more in, and also do our same trick over here, adding more height to it. And then just step back for a second, and I think what I'm going to do actually, bring it up by another 2, like this. It's really easy now because it's quite a small area at this point. Step back, and yeah, I think that's gonna be tall enough for the trunk. So all we're gonna do is just come around and finish doing our little trick here. That, you know, here and there. That, maybe bring that one down a little bit. That's a little bit too much. Still bring that in. And as you can see, we have a really nice looking tree trunk. Now it's onto the branches, and this part it's gonna take a little bit of wood, and the point is it's gonna take you know, a lot of testing, a lot of just standing on the ground and looking at the branch just to see, you know, if you're getting the right dimensions and all of that. I like to start with you know, one of the diagonal branches, simply because it's easier to get a more organic shape, because if you're going from here, then you're just gonna go for like a square more, rather than, you know, a branch. So I like to start here, it's easier to start, and you know, what I'm just gonna do is pretty simple, just bring the branch up like this, and you know, we're gonna just keep this shape pretty uniform for now, but once we actually get to the, like, phase where we're gonna make it look nice, we're just gonna, you know, make some of the edges look a little bit rougher, all that good stuff. And I do want to just check to see if, you know, like, how long do you want the branch to be? Like, that right there, I feel like maybe one more little segment on the edge like that. That will be long enough for our first branch. And if you look from here, you'll see it doesn't look very well supported. So what we're going to do is just bring these parts down a little bit. And, you know, this can help you a lot with the tree, because, you know, it helps it look more supported. It helps the branch look a little bit thicker at the bottom, what you want. You want it to always start a little bit thicker at the bottom and shifting up into a slightly, you know, smaller area. So, yeah. Now all I'm going to do is just kind of go along, put in some random imperfections here and there on the bottom and the top, and this really just helps us get a more, you know, organic shape for the branches, which we're really going for, you know. At the bottom, it's a little bit different. I'm just gonna kind of, you know, add in a lot of different blocks here and there, and this just makes it look a lot thicker at the bottom, and you always want it to be thicker at the bottom, unless you're making some weird, just different type of tree. So yeah, maybe right here, we'll bring a block like that, just like that. We're getting some really nice shapes here and there. And yeah, that's pretty much rinse and repeat for the rest of these. But I am actually going to do another one of these straight branches on camera, just to show you the general process before making one, because this is a little bit more difficult, getting that nice organic shape. What I like to start with is just this general theme. I want to make this branch maybe look a little bit weirder, a little bit more long, and, you know, less of a, just curve upwards, more of a, you know, just like tapers off right here. That's pretty good right there. And then what we're gonna do is just kind of bring it around up like this, going for that same non-organic shape first before we jump into the organic part of it, because it's easier to rough it up afterwards than it is to start with the, you know, making it look all that, you know, organic parts, because then you stuck fiddling with it for a long time. And that branch is a little bit too short, you know, so maybe I'll just bring this whole section out here. That should be good-ish, yeah. See? Just gotta keep tapering, keep tinkering with it, you know, connect these two parts right here, maybe bring that down all the way, bring that down a little bit, you know, just moving the blocks around is really important in this situation. And then at the bottom here, we're going to make a lot more space. This, adding our imperfections here and there, breaking the blocks, bringing them back in. And you don't really want to make some like really thick sections like right here. I did that. It's a bit weird. And I want to add that in after. afterwards. But for now, that's kind of what we're going for. Maybe break this one, that one, maybe one right here. Just kind of mixing the blocks around, making it look a lot more organic. It's very important, you know. I think right there, the second branch is now done. Maybe break one more block right there. And yeah, now it's on to the other branches. It's pretty simple, just do it the same thing for all 8. Bring them around. Make sure you use different shapes for the branches, different Y levels, different like curves, you know, on all the different branches. That helps it look a lot better in the end too. And then after that, we get to move on to the smaller branches of the big branches, which is kind of confusing. Another way to make these the straight branches more organic is you can curve them. So you start out going straight like this, right? But then you can come up into more of a curved section like this, and then you can bring in some of that diagonal into the straight branch, which I think looks really nice, and just mixes up the branches, you know? I've now finished all of the different branches, and as you can see, it's already starting to look a lot like a tree. If you come down here, just look up and you just see these giant branches just coming out. And I just kind of want to share with you some of the different ways that I made them look a little bit different. You saw this one, a bit of a flattened area. This one just normal. This one, you know, you have the curve that we talked about. This one's another normal one. You do want to keep a couple normal ones. This one's another one of the ones I tried to make it go up quite a bit and then just flatten out. And then this one's normal, and this one I really like because I actually made the branch go in 2 different directions. So that kind of just fills this space because I felt like it was a bit empty. So just filling this up made it look a lot nicer. And as you can see, the shadows actually look pretty cool too. But yeah, you have the base branches, but this isn't enough because when you put the leaves in, it's not going to look very good. So it's not gonna look very good if you just have these couple branches, because you want to have that kind of look, right? You know, like filled with leaves. So what we're gonna do is actually take the wood and just kind of make these smaller branches coming out from the larger branches here and there. Maybe do 3 to 5 per you know, different branch, because you don't want to have too many. Well, actually, you can have as many as you want, you know. More is better in this scenario, but you know, 3 to 5 is pretty good range right there. If you don't want as much work, that is a good number to go with, and you still get a pretty similar effect. So yeah, you're just gonna want to come out from various different angles, different Y levels. You don't want it all to get the same Y level because then the branches look weird. Maybe even bring some downwards, like here. Come down out this one, and maybe bring one like that. And yeah, this looks really nice. And I actually forgot to mention you can add a little bit more detail using these spruce fences by actually coming out from these smaller branches with even smaller branches like this. The fences, that looks really good, but I'm not gonna do that actually. It doesn't really matter. It's just a lot of extra resources if you do want to, because it does make it look a little bit better. I did do it on that tree over there. You don't have to though, and you know, you get a similar effect just by doing it with the normal leaves. I'm actually using quite a lot more of the branches than I thought I would on this one, but hey, it's looking nice. You can even put more extra branches coming off of these branches like that. You just want to fill every little space, and doing this will really help you. We're also going to want to make sure that we have branches that actually come towards the middle, because this part is going to be a little bit empty, so you want to make sure that you have a nice bit of space for that. And you're just going to want to continue that all the way around for every single one of your branches. It is going to take a little while, but trust me, in the end, it's going to look good. After working on this a little bit more, I would actually recommend around 5 to 7 branches, because 3 to 5, I don't think it's enough, you know. And yeah, 3 to 5, small. 4 to 7, kind of what I'm going for, and it's making it look really nice so far. At this point, you should have completed all of your branches, and mine just look like a mess, honestly, but I think that's good, you know? That's kind of what we're going for. And now it's time for the leaves. because yeah, right now I'm not really digging the dead tree look, you know. So it's gonna be pretty simple. What we're gonna do is take our leaves, just wrap them around the branches, but don't put them like, you don't have to completely wrap it around, just like mostly, you know. So maybe you will miss a block here and there on purpose, and that kind of just makes it look like slightly more patchy, but we don't want it to be too patchy. Just patchy enough that we're not getting this really like thick leaves, you know, like you don't want leaves to just be everywhere. You want to have like a mix between not having that many leaves and having like, you know, just a nice amount of them. See, like right there, decent amount of leaves, but we're gonna have to add more later in a later phase. So that's what I'm basically gonna be doing, just adding these different little bits of leaves onto every single branch. Yep, every single branch. So it's gonna take a little while, and it's gonna take a lot of leaves, but after you're done, you'll thank yourself, because it's gonna look really nice. So yeah, I think I'm actually gonna do this in the form of a little time lapse, just letting you guys see my process of making leaves, moving around the tree, and you know, just plunking those little bushes down. I hope you guys enjoyed that quick little time lapse there. Just a little thing, you know, testing out the new replay mod, or, you know, 1.16.1 replay mod. Anyways, and we're looking at this here, and it looks okay, you know, it's not that bad, but it is a bit on the patchy side, you know. That's kind of what we're not going for, the patchy leaves. So, yeah, what we're gonna do now is simply just kind of spam leaves, you know, and make these a lot more bushy than they were originally. You can see like that. If we just keep going around like this, and just make every single one of these things a little bit more bushy, and then eventually the leaves will kind of connect up a little bit. We just keep spamming them a little bit, but not too many, you know. And you get this kind of less patchy look. See, that's kind of what we're going for, right? So yeah, that's the next step. Kind of just spam the leaves around everywhere until you get that nice layer of leaves. And like, you can just go until you're done, until you think you're done. As you can see, once you add in these extra leaves, your tree doesn't look as patchy anymore, right? And yeah, now it looks really good, because, you know, we don't like patchy leaves, we like these nice good bunches of them, just kind of all there, you know. And just come around and make sure you look everywhere on your tree, just make sure you're not forgetting anything. I think we did pretty good on this one. And yeah, now it's actually time to, you know, make the entrance for the tree. So what we're gonna do is look for a spot that has a lot of, or just a good amount of flat space, and I'm thinking right here is actually pretty good. You can see we got a nice amount of space right here. So what I'm gonna do is just come in through here, and get right here, maybe, yeah, like that. Just come in, put a door, and what we're gonna do is take our stripped oak. I'm gonna use the wood, you don't have to. And what I'm gonna do is simply, actually, here, let's move it back, you know, we'll put it here, right? Let's put an entrance right here, sunk into the wood, and we can kind of move some of the logs around, make it fit more. As you can see, we now have a bunch of good space to put all of our stuff in the tree. You know, it's just nice little entrance right here. You can put a ladder coming up to the very top, even more space up here. It does look quite beautiful up here though, you know. So yeah, you can stop here, and you'll have a good looking tree. Or what you can do, and I like to do this part, is you can just trace leaves up the side of some of the branches. So that just adds some green for you, like really brown look of the trunk, and it also makes it look slightly more spread. And so yeah, you get this nice look. Just kind of bring them up. They don't even have to go very far, just a couple leaves here and there. Go a very long way. It'll make the tree look really nice. So that, yeah, it's pretty simple. Just curve these around based on the curve of the tree, and you'll get this really nice look, because, you know, just leaves make everything better, you know. So yeah, okay, last thing or, you know, a couple last things. We're gonna need a little bit of the coarse dirt, and what we're gonna do is just sprinkle this around on the dirt around here. It's pretty simple. Sprinkle it all around. And once you have some coarse dirt in, you're gonna get this really nice look. And you don't have to add it in, you know, you don't have to, but I like to. It makes the grass look a little bit better. And then what you can do is just come around the edges and just sprinkle in little bits of bone meal here and there. And yeah, that just makes it look a whole lot nicer. Make sure you get every spot, or not every spot, but a lot of different areas. That just helps it look a whole lot better. And as you can see, we've got a very nice looking tree right here. Very similar to that one over there. But yeah, I actually think I might have done better on this one. So yeah, got a nice tree base. Might have taken a little while, and it definitely took a lot of wood. But in the end, I definitely think it was worth it. Hope you enjoyed this quick, or not maybe, this one probably took a little while. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really would help a lot. And every sub, you know, we're getting close to that nice 100. So yeah, if you did enjoy, make sure to hit that subscribe button. This has been Glitching Out. Goodbye, everyone.